This episode of Shoes Off is brought to you by Kikoa Reserve Cellars. Come join us on our journey of aloha. Oh, aloha kako, Hana. Come inside, sit down, take off your shoes, and join us for another talk story. All right, and today we're talking about love and marriage.
Yeah.
And please, I would like to invite you to introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Nihal Malhotra, and this is my wife, Mandy Malhotra.
And I'm Mandy Malhotra. This is my husband, Nihal Malhotra.
All right.
Wait,
all
what
right.
are we drinking?
Oh, yes.
I'm
So
always
yeah.
like, we gotta.
Yeah, let me...
Need the plug. I call spades, everybody. So
right.
you'll
What
just
are-
hear me blurt
what are we
stuff out.
drinking?
We're drinking some kaunu from our sponsors, Kikoa Reserve. All right. So how I always like to say is, when you bring a bottle of kaunu home to the missus, we know how that night is going to end.
What does it mean?
The kaunu?
Yes.
Kaunu means the motion and emotion of making love
Oh, okay.
to the one that you love.
All right.
Yeah. And that's one of the secrets to sticking together. All right.
It is.
All right. So, Mandy and Nihal,
Yes.
welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's a good time. I'm excited to talk story. So, I guess to open up, how did you two meet and what stood out about each other right away?
You go first.
Okay. I was like, who wants to go first?
She stood out to me. I'll say that
Ah.
much.
Oh,
Beyond that, I'll let her tell the story.
Oh, we gotta find out more about how it stood out. Okay.
so how
Gotta
it
set the scene.
So
Yeah.
it started that I recently moved back to the Mid-Atlantic from Florida. I was living in Tampa at the time, and I just recently moved back to the DC metro area. And my friend at that time was just like, oh my God, you're here. I'm dating this guy, and I think this guy is the one. So you need to come here and you need to show him the wedding ring that I want. So him and I went ring shopping. It lasted 10 minutes because I was like, this is the one she wants. And that was it. And then he was like, so what else are we going to do with the last 2 hours that we're supposed to be together? And I was like, we can just hang out. And then she ended up meeting us downtown DC Wharf because we were living at around DC at the time. I was living on the shore close to the beach. But he was living in Alexandria, DC. So we're at the wharf. We were doing this wine bar crawl, like Michelin star wine bar crawl. So we both got 2 glasses of wine and we would share and taste at different restaurants. Yada, yada, yada. We end up going to this place called Kin and Keith, where
Kith and Kin.
Kith and Kin.
Uh-huh.
He has a better memory than I do. And it's a West African restaurant, and it means family and friends, which is kind of great in reference to this family and friends with wine. And I walk in, and next thing I know, this woman comes up to me and she's like, oh my God, you're just so pretty. You need to meet my cousin. And I automatically look at my friend because my friend is like 5'9", tall, model-esque. And I'm like, nobody's checking for me. I'm this little tiny person. Nobody cares. And she was like, no, I mean you. I'm like, me? And she was like, come to the bar. I'm like, well, we're going there anyways. And then I go there, and then I see this guy with the hat on,
just
slouched down where you barely
did have
could
hair
even
then.
see
I did
him.
have hair back then.
Literally ducking. And I'm like,
It was a trucker hat.
hi, my name is Mandy. And he was like, hi. And we order wine. And then I was like, kind of quiz him. I'm like, so could you tell the difference between what is this wine? What is this wine? And he was like, I don't know. And then he was like, and then he guessed and was like, you're wrong. This is the Riesling. This is the Chardonnay. He was like, okay, I don't really know wine like that. But he was like, but it's great to meet you. And I'm like, yeah,
Know
so
your
what's
stuff.
going on?
He knows
And
his
then
stuff.
yada, yada, yada. He was like, I'm kind of embarrassed because I told my cousin that you're the prettiest girl I've ever seen. And then you came here. I was like, oh,
Oh, he's
Okay,
checking. So he
put
was
it
checking you
on.
out.
He's put it
He's checking
on.
you out
Right?
already.
You know,
He saw you coming from miles away.
yes, I saw her coming. I didn't necessarily wasn't going to go talk to her because I was not in a state to be talking
You
to
had the
her.
waitress do
I
it.
was coming to scare the dude that was trying to date my cousin. I wasn't trying to date somebody.
Oh, yeah.
and I wasn't either
Man.
because I'm like, I just moved here, back here. So I'm not looking for any type of relationship. So yada, yada, yada.
So little did you know that whole setup was for you.
Yeah, it might have been.
The end result.
I don't know. It's probably one of the conspiracies
He was
from
supposed to be
Washington,
there.
D.C. We've got plenty of those. So there's another one.
That's right. That's right.
And at that time, I was trying to get into technology. And I was like, so what do you do? And in DC, everybody talks about their job. And he was like, oh, well, I'm actually in tech. This is what I do. I'm like, okay, so I need your number. So therefore, if I have questions about anything, you can respond and be like my mentor. And then I was like, let's take a picture together right now. So therefore, when I call you, you know who it is. So we took our first picture, not realizing that we'll still be together.
Well,
This time.
he wasn't going to forget how you looked like because he saw you coming
I'll never
already.
I still know the dress she wore.
And then later on in the night, we ended up leaving my friend and her boyfriend to a different place. And then we ended up at this Indian restaurant. And we have kind of like a debate on who texted who first on like what
I
was
was
going
going
on.
home. I know I was going home because I was going home.
But
Get in my
all
truck.
I
I
remember,
was driving home.
I remember him saying, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm at this Indian restaurant."
So you think he texted you first, and you're saying you were
Have the
going
same
home?
number. I will go back 7 years in that text string, and I will show you that the text came from her. What are you doing?
It could have.
It could have. It could have means it did. All right. Tell you that right now. She texted me because she was at an Indian bar
I feel
and she
you.
had just met me.
I think I believe
she
him.
always tells me that that I liked her first, but I think she's the one who told me that. So
I liked her.
that's okay. We'll let them
Please.
get away with that story.
I liked her. I don't get it twisted. The whole reason my cousin went drunk to her is because I said, "Oh, you know, she's attractive."
Okay.
So what person? At what point did you guys realize that this was your person?
That's a good question.
I think it, for me, was the intention behind him. Like I said, I lived on the shore next to the beach, and he lived DC metro area. So they're 2 hours apart. And I was bartending and working at the time. And he would come visit me while I was working bartending and just sit at the bar, and we'll have just minor conversation, and he would just patiently just sit, and when I had time, then we had the conversation, and then he would go home, and I'm like,
2 hours away.
who is this man?
Uh,
And then my parents met him, and my dad said, this is a guy that is not chasing a pretty face and is chasing your heart.
oh.
And I think a big deal was also he gave me a cheesesteak from Philly on his way 2 hours out of the way to me.
I was wondering when you were going to bring that up.
And it was,
You
and
had
he only
mentioned that
stayed
you
and
like that?
hung out with me for 30 minutes and then went home.
She
Oh,
has a
wow.
thing about, she loves wine, but she's got a thing about meat.
I love it. And I was like, you brought me a cheesesteak? I was like, are you crazy? And I was
Sonny's is Sonny's cheesesteaks in Philly.
It was
Haven't
it was
had
good
Sonny's.
cheesesteak.
There's a plug. If you haven't had Sonny's, go check out Sonny's. This is not, I'm not paid by Sonny's, but go check it out.
But that was when I realized, okay, especially for me in our big age when we are not 24 anymore, intention means a lot. Of this person is just literally just wanting to be around me and wanting to get to know me, and that is it. There's no other alternative motives. I'm working and then going home, and he's going home. Like, there's no sexy time, there's no cutesy. It's not like, oh, he's drunk or anything like that, and he doesn't drink.
Yeah,
like
drive
that.
back.
2 hours to hang
again
out
for
like
me to
30
like.
minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And saw me for 30 minutes and
putting
dropped
in.
off a cheesesteak.
That was like 10, but yeah, and I drove from Philly to her house, which was 2.5 hours, then 2.5 to mine,
So man, she
just to drop off the cheesesteak.
so she really she made an impression on you. Then what was it? What was it? For
was
you?
that
When
wine.
did you realize-
We were drinking at that time.
On the rooftop the first night.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
wine.
yeah, because the first night that we met, our friend gave us a bottle of wine, gave us 2 glasses, and she was like, here's some wine, hang out with him. You better be at Pilates tomorrow. Because that was our date. We were supposed to do Pilates. She was
In
like,
the morning at like
she was
7.
at 7 a.m. She was like, do not miss this.
That was
But-
you guys' first date?
Yeah, that was our first date. No, that
The
night
one
was...
she texted
Okay,
me.
I got you.
And the
Yeah.
I got
bar,
you.
then I rolled up
So
and the
we
bar was
always say-
closed. And I'm like, hey, the door's locked. Where are you trying to send me? In some back alley?
I was like, it's
what's
okay.
going on here?
It's after hours. And so we always say, like, I met my Indian and African restaurant, and he met his African at an Indian restaurant.
Oh.
And that night we
That's
literally
interesting.
Wow.
we literally talked about colorism, we talked about politics, we talked about
While having
culture.
the Capitol building, like in the backdrop, sitting in
We
the
talked about
like
everything you're not supposed. Yeah, you're not supposed to
Dope.
talk about on the first date. We talked about where I was
love
like,
that.
let's just get this out of the way. Do we match or not? Are morals and values the same and align or not? Because we're older. We don't have time to like be cutesy and be like, oh yeah, 6 weeks later, like we don't align. So let's just cut to the chase. And him also being Indian and first generation, me being African, actually I'm second generation. I'm
the immigrant.
Yeah.
I'm the one Stephen Miller wants to
and
take out.
just understanding
first
those
generation.
and understanding
this
those cultural dynamics that people don't understand and those little nuances was
Yeah.
honestly for me refreshing to be like, this is something that is a good solid foundation where if we align and we understand the values and where we are right now,
Yeah.
it's easy to then move forward.
So speaking about cultural backgrounds, how does your cultural background show up in your relationship to today on the day-to-day basis? Yeah.
Oh, mine shows up every day. Or it doesn't show up. So it's definitely been, for me, a little bit more of a rocky road with my family.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of knew that, but yeah, let's just say there is no room for understanding.
So from what you grew up with and the culturally
so
and
like
living here. Yeah.
I have disgraced the family name. So that is where I sit.
Whoa.
Viral.
Okay.
I told you. Don't give me this stuff.
So it's okay. May I ask why?
Because they have a conception in their mind and expectations I'm an extension of them.
Uh-huh.
and therefore they would like me to do things a particular way, and
Okay.
have always wanted me to do things a particular way. Having Asian parents is not an easy thing.
Got you.
Being an Asian parent, I got to watch myself to not pass on the trauma.
Mm.
So
That's deep.
coming to the United States, with that's got to be already a big leap coming into
Well,
like
yeah, I mean,
whole new
as-
country,
I
like
mean, yeah, I mean,
paving,
I
cutting
speak-
your own trail.
Yeah, cutting on. Yeah, and you know, I mean, here nor there. I mean, I wasn't born in this country, but as you can tell, right, I was raised here, right. Can I speak like this in my native language? Yes. Nobody knows I'm not American. Like I'm not American. It's part of why I spent some time in the State Department, because people didn't know where I was from, and they used that. Oh, they used that.
Yeah.
But here nor there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's family plays a huge role. But all we can do is take the best of what we know
Yes.
and move that forward. So from that, yes, it comes into play every day. And you take the best and pass it on to your kids. Just like I
Yeah.
told Madison, hey, eat something before you leave.
That's what
because if you walk out the door hungry, you meet hungry people.
In the worst way.
And I know I heard that 1,000 times growing up. So it plays a role every day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like what you said about you, we take the best, because that's what we're supposed to do, is build upon what has come before
That's right.
and shed the things that don't work. And otherwise, how do we build a new future? So then, if it just keeps being the same, right? We've got to build and improve upon what has come before.
Right. You can only build legacy if you're intentional about it, right? What that legacy is and what it looks like has no meaning. At least in my book, it's more about the character and the content of the person
Yeah.
than anything else.
Yeah. What's something from your partner's culture that you've grown to deeply appreciate?
Oh, I've got a few of those. Unconditional love,
Yes.
patience, being able to appropriately manage expectations and define boundaries, I think, are the biggest ones.
Wow. Wow. What you're saying is I found the same. I've learned a lot, and the things that you touched on, I too have learned. Yeah, so I'm with you on that.
We're in this journey together, right? And I think that's it's part of life, and everybody has those moments.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Yeah, amen. Unconditional love and
Told you not to give me
boundaries,
that
man.
We all up in here. We all up.
I've had similar experiences, and we'll probably get into it more as we hang out and stuff like that. But yeah, man, were there any cultural differences that surprised you early on?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some heir apparent ones. There's some funny ones.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to touch on the funny ones. But I was asked for Lobola. Would you care to explain?
It's the bride's price.
Oh, okay.
So therefore,
So I have 2 cows at least to buy and give my in-laws.
my dad did not pay this
But
lobola
I
for
have
a
not either.
long time.
Well,
So it's a running joke
pledged
in my
it. You
family
pledged it.
where my aunts are like, "Oh, your dad finally paid," and we were like 25 at that time. And so now my dad is like, "Oh, now I'm the big chief.
Where's
and
my
where's
lobola?"
my lobola for my daughter?" And Nahal was like, "Well, you didn't pay for a while, so we're good to
We're
go."
waiting until Madison's 25.
But it's the price of in Zulu culture, it is not paying for the bride, it is also managing expectations for the new family, because the bride, it becomes part of her husband's family, of stating that, hey, this is what we are able to do for our child. Are you able to still protect her and kind of wrap her in warmth? Are you able to provide for her?
They don't hook me. I gotta give them some.
Financially
My
and
culture's
also
opposite.
emotionally. So it's just all
They're
those
like,
things
here.
encapsulated of
Oh,
like,
you're gonna take care of our daughter?
At the end of the day, that means 3 cows, 4 goats, and a chicken.
Wow.
Yeah, my culture's the opposite. They'd be giving me the goats and the chickens.
So therefore, when
You're like,
we
wait a
got
minute.
married, it was a big deal because
I gotta
like
feed her.
when we got married, it's a big deal because both parents are just like, no, you're supposed to be paying me. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be paying for the wedding. And they're like, no, you're supposed to be paying
So
for
I
the
ended
wedding.
up paying for the wedding.
So we ended up paying for the wedding.
Wow.
But so it's just one of those
Yeah.
cultural differences. And also with me being South African and more British culture, we eat dinner very early, like 6 o'clock.
Oh, Thanksgiving, it's like 2
7
p.m.
Yeah. Not even 2 p.m. It's like 1 p.m.
Okay.
Really, really early.
Be hopeful.
And then Punjabi culture, I remember visiting his family
Yeah.
where he was like, oh, we're going to meet up with my parent and like my dad for dinner. So I didn't eat like lunch at 4 o'clock thinking I'm going to be fed. By 7:30, maybe 8 max.
No, we're starting dinner at 8.
So they're just having
Just the
little
cooking.
appetizers,
He's lighting the
like
fire.
Yeah.
little like peanuts, little
Get the
like
coals ready
cat
for
and
the
stuff like
pig,
that.
you know?
They didn't start prepping
some
dinner until
lechon style
11:30 at
Kahlua.
night, and I go to bed at
Dang.
9:30, and I was just like, I'm going to sleep, and they're trying to eat dinner
Yeah.
at like midnight.
Wow.
Think
Oh,
about that,
no.
Brandy.
I couldn't do it.
I was hangry.
I know.
But I had to show my composure because I'm also like, this is a new family. I can't be angry. So I'm like, these little crackers are great. But I'm like, where's the food?
Where was the food?
This is 10 o'clock. Why are we not
Where
eating
is the
yet?
food?
On
Man.
our side of the world, we have
Yeah.
a saying for that.
What is
It's
it?
like, hey, you know, these guys haven't had freedom for 1,000 years. They don't sleep.
They don't sleep.
They don't sleep.
Dang.
And also just
So yeah, the party
space.
into the break of dawn and party
yeah.
through the night out there.
And also
And the
space,
Bengal-
we just understand like
Punjabi.
We're given 75 years if we're lucky. You got to use every moment.
Oh,
Listen.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Listen, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
and also South African culture is like we have so much space.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't realize that even though we were colonized, we still have a lot of space and we could
Yeah,
do a lot of
yeah.
things with our own property. And he comes from Mumbai where everything is very compressed.
They don't know what colonized
So
is.
therefore, he's like, oh, we can invite
Wow.
20 of my
tell
family
you.
into our house and it's not a big deal. And I'm like, but there's not enough bathrooms.
Of course
we don't
there
have
is.
enough
There's more than
space.
one.
And he was like, my grandma lived in our living room with 11 people. And
Yeah.
I'm just like,
In 300 square feet.
and my grandpa, like, we had our own chapel in our house.
Okay.
So it's
This
just
was
like,
the house, and there was 11 people in it.
It's
That's
so-
what it was.
so it's just like those little juxtapositions of like, even though
Yeah.
we come from third world countries, even how third world countries are viewed, quote unquote, where
I don't know,
South Africa, he was
third
like,
world.
when he visited South
Not
Africa,
third
he was like,
This is not third world.
you guys have mansions here.
Yeah.
Like,
You guys have beach properties like California. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on in
what's
the third
happening
world?
here? And he
Yeah.
was like, you guys are not living on top of each other. And for me, I'm just like also understanding that he likes go, go, go
Yeah,
because he's used to it coming from a big city where he was
1.4
like,
billion
city
people.
life.
Wow.
in a 1 mile perimeter,
Yeah.
I need to be able to do all the things.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm a country girl. Like, I was born in Oklahoma, raised in Nebraska, South Africa, like, in
It's
the
also expensive.
and he like visited. He was like, oh, you're used to space and the country life and just the slow living. So it's just us trying to mesh our big city boy with a very country girl where I'm
Open
like,
spaces.
open spaces where I'm like, oh, these
Yeah.
people are on top of me.
The dynamics, the
Mhm.
energy dynamics. Man.
Yeah.
It's,
of just-
it's
But you're-
yin and yang. It's
Yeah.
we're
Totally.
not
Oh,
as
man,
similar.
I think
as
your children are going to be so interesting. You know what I'm saying? With just the blend of all the different cultures, experiences.
It'd be very cosmopolitan. Let's
Yeah.
put it that
I
way.
love
really
it.
cool.
So
I
that's
love
why we
that.
kind of like Temecula, where he gets the safety and the feeling of like, okay, I'm not in this middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
but he's still like, it's still too far from civilization
Yeah.
for him.
Oh,
And for
wow.
me, I'm like,
Skyscrapers
oh,
somewhere.
we
You
got
just
all
drive,
the
you
things.
just drive down the street to
Yeah.
San Diego or
Yeah.
something like
I'm like,
that.
I have all the things here, everything that I need.
So you do have 2 children,
Mhm.
right? And it's going to blend the cultures together. That's going to
Yeah.
be so interesting.
Mhm.
So how did your love evolve through the marriage? You say, well, how long have you guys been together? How long have you been married?
Oh, we're married now, 22 to 26, coming on 4 years.
Wow.
We've been
Mhm.
together since December 17th, 2017.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't know it was that. I didn't
That
know
long.
it
Yeah.
was that long.
So man, yeah,
It's almost a
definitely,
decade.
Mhm.
definitely evolution then.
Yeah, and
Through
our
that.
evolution is different because he met me with a child. So relationships evolve in a different way than when you meet people single. And that's why I was very appreciative of him being very intentional in the way that he moves.
It's intentional evolution, not organic.
Mhm. And
Intentional.
and also with family dynamics and cultural dynamics as well. I feel like we are kind of backwards compared to everybody else, where everybody is like, oh, we have the honeymoon stage first. We literally have had more situations where we had to pick and choose each other every single day and
Oh,
say that this is the person and fight for our love and for our relationship and our marriage, because there's so many outside forces with me having a child outside of our relationship, with our cultures being the same but different, where there's different expectations and different pulls that come along with it, and then just also be just different people
Yeah.
that just come together
We're raised differently. Yeah.
to begin with. So it's
So
just
choosing each other.
those
intentionally
layers
choosing.
just come together and understanding that we might not like each other every single day, every single second of the day. And also, majority of our marriage has been relationship has been during COVID time. So, and we moved from DC to here.
I wouldn't say that. COVID was 2 years. So maybe
No.
we had a good couple
Felt
years
like forever.
before COVID.
But at the same time, we moved here where we don't have family, we
Yeah,
don't have a
sure.
network, we don't have friends.
And I've been
where
working from home for 6 years, so.
And I was
Wow.
working from home before I met him. So it was like we were together 24/7, 365,
Wow.
Still are.
pretty much since the beginning, where it's those.
Gentlemen out there, don't do that.
You can do that. But it is very tough to be like, at the end of the day, understanding that even though this is my person, I lean on them, they are my best friend, not piling everything onto them at the same time, because you're just there's so much exhaustion of being together 24/7, 365.
Well, then to
But
have
at
to
the
be
same
all
time, I'm
these
just
things
like,
to your person.
We actually truly love each other, because there were so many marriages and relationships that were broken during that time of like being together 365,
Yeah.
75, not including children in the mix
Yeah.
and the family dynamics in the mix and outside forces in the mix. And the peaks and valleys of, even for me, where I lost my job because of tech, as you know, like there was a time where there was a huge tech layoff, and I was also a part of that. And
Yeah.
navigating that path in a new city, in a new state, still kind of new in our relationship,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
being intentional and
Yeah, I like what
being
you said
focused on
about
each other.
trying not to, like it's not possible to be everything to your person, and it's
Mhm.
so not fair to try and put that pressure on your person, on your
Mhm.
spouse. Like you're supposed to be my entertainment, my therapist, right? My good time. Like you got to looked after me, but then you got to give me space, right? So. Yeah, it's not
And
fair.
and for you guys are different because you guys met each other when you guys were in 10th grade, right?
Eighth,
Something like that.
seventh.
Oh,
We're
even
12.
sooner.
Yeah.
So your journey is completely the opposite
Yeah.
way, where you guys had to learn and grow together in a different way, the
Well,
opposite of us.
Yeah, but what you said is you have to continue to choose the beginning. It has to. Yeah, it's intentional. Yeah, it's not. You can't just autopilot through that. Yeah. You intentionally choose and put in the work. Yeah. So
Sheesh.
it's beautiful, you guys. Go.
Yeah,
You're
no,
gonna
I
say
was
something?
just gonna say there, that's the most important thing that you can do.
Yeah. So what's a vision of the future for your marriage? What are you guys thinking?
I'm just
Where
trying to
you
make
get-
it to tomorrow.
Right?
Yeah, it's
So how old
fine,
is your
man.
son?
14 months.
There you
Oh
go.
my God, 15
Yeah.
months.
Yeah,
We
you're
have a
looking at
long
me like, what the
journey.
hell you asking me about future visions, man? This
The
guy's
only
doing
visions I
like
get
body
is-
slams
yeah, that's
off the
right.
couch
He
on me
Austin
right
three
now, man.
Stone Cold Steve Austin the dog the other day. He's 14 months.
Right.
I'm not having no visions that are good visions.
Right? Like, oh. Well, man. Like I was telling you,
Like,
I love
seriously,
that
like,
age.
Black out. The
Stone
dog.
cold onto the
He was trying to
dog.
give him a hug. He just fell backwards, and he was like, "Oh, it's too heavy."
man.
But honestly, I
Oh,
think
it's
our
beautiful.
vision is.
The Rock Johnson. What are you doing?
Right?
I
We're
feel
just
like
trying to make it. We're trying to make it to tomorrow with this
I
guy.
feel like things. I tell people that are newly married, like we are. I was like, people kind of said it the wrong way. The honeymoon stage is not in the beginning.
Yeah.
I look at my parents now, and they're almost 40 years into marriage, and they're so happy. And like you guys, we're just so happy in the sense of like, in the beginning, that is when is the rough time where you're getting to know each other and also getting to know yourself as a husband, as a wife, as a mother, as a father, and working everything together. And then later on, I feel like that's the real honeymoon stage because you know each other. You know what quirks that your husband has or your wife has where you're like, that happens, but I still love this person and I enjoy this person and I choose to continue to love this person. So for me, it's like, I'm looking forward to like our true honeymoon stage where like the kids are kind of gone and we're like loving and appreciating each
That's
other.
65, guys. That's 65.
We're like, even at 50, we still have time.
Oh, yeah.
Where we are more in that realm of just
Yeah.
like, now we got the kinks out because we now understand how each other works and the expectations, and knowing that those expectations might not be met 100% the way that we want it to be met, but we are still choosing and going forth and dedicating our lives together.
Yes. Yeah.
You can only do three things in any relationship.
What's
that?
what's
Depending
the-
on, what your deal, what the situation may be, right, with your partner. You can either accept it, you can fight it, or you can walk away from it. You don't have any other choices.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's so true.
Yes. So, what advice would you give your younger self in the previous seasons of your life? Huh? If you could call.
If I was to give advice to myself, I would have said, be more selfish.
Mm. Mm.
He's a giver
Yeah. Open
to a
heart.
fault.
Yeah.
Where I tell him I'm his boundary keeper.
Boundaries. You were talking
yeah,
about the boundaries.
I'm his boundary keeper.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
I was raised
no,
by
don't do that.
narcissists, so
Mhm.
I have to overdo for people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I would tell myself, you are enough, just yourself. Stop. Be selfish.
I hear you. Brother.
Mm.
and I tell him that in a different way as his wife of saying, you are valuable, you're loved, you have value just being you. You don't have to provide, you don't have to do anything. You
I
just
still do.
You're just existing. People should still value who you are, and you should also put
Well, you can't
value
help
in
it.
yourself in that way. And he's an overdoer in that sense. Like my mom told me how to hold like very firm boundaries.
Yeah.
Did I slip and fall all the time? Yes, I did, because I think also as a
She holds
black
the boundaries with me. 20
um,
years ago, she was on the boundaries.
as a black woman, there's also different stereotypes that you have in being when you're being very strong
Yeah.
and being more strict in how you move and your boundaries then are not accepted in the same way as maybe other people would be.
Yeah.
So therefore I would lean into more being nice. And I always say now I'm like, I am kind, I'm not nice, where I still going to put value in myself. I can still say F you to somebody, but I can also help somebody along. I am
Yeah.
not going to put myself and my mental health at risk for somebody else, but I'm also going to communicate that and let them know that these are my boundaries. Can
Yeah.
we work within those boundaries for us to keep our relationship? Because I'm still a lover. I don't want to fight with people.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those nuances that you have to learn growing and having those growing pains and having those scars and bruises to understand who you are authentically and learning to love yourself in an authentic manner and not loving yourself in who you project yourself and want to be. And I
Yeah.
think that is one of those great things where I always say, I keep my years when people are like, oh, you look 24, you should be 24. I'm like, no, I'm almost 40. I worked very hard for every single one of these years because I learned to be more authentically myself and appreciate myself, but also being kind and having patience and allowing space for other people to understand that they might not be where I want them to be, but can I still love them and accept them? But can I still hold my boundaries at the same time while loving and accepting those people?
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. Yeah. I hear you about the boundaries, man. I need help with that myself. Learned a lot from the lady here. And from her culture, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's such a lover. He's a lover boy. Literally, if somebody was like, I love pasta, he will find the best pasta place. He will literally research for 3 hours to try to find somebody the best pasta place perfectly for them.
Acts of service.
And for me, I'm like,
so
don't
love
do that. I'm
languages.
like, well, all adults, they can do that themselves. Like, give them 3 options and that's it. And he was like, no, but I need to do this. And so it's just that balancing act where I am also learning that sometimes my hardness, where I need to be softer and approach situations in the way that he does, where maybe I need to go above and beyond for certain situations where it does make sense and not be so rigid and be like, nope,
So
we're all
where's,
adults here, we can handle it.
so where's the next vacation spot we're going to?
India
Yeah.
for me, because
How many times have you taken her out there?
We were supposed to go, but a situation happened, so we weren't able to go.
I
But
haven't been back in almost a decade.
Oh,
But-
Wow.
I really want to go, and I tell him all the time, I'm like, if you take me to India, we might not
You
come
take
back because
yeah.
I love food, and I know Indian, like, I cook Indian food. I'm learning how to do more authentic Indian dishes for him, where I'm like, if I can get over the noise, because it's overstimulation coming from a country girl, it's like the beep honks. I listen to YouTube videos to get my anxiety down, so therefore I'm prepping for India for him. But it's one of those places where I know, like, if I go there, I might not come back
Mm-hmm.
because
That's
the way that
that's-
he
that's
shows me his culture,
what,
I
what it's
love
supposed to be, not
that's
how
what-
not how the family is behaving.
Yeah,
It's
Oh,
supposed
but-
to
Meaning that you
Lord,
love,
okay,
you love
okay.
that
I
you're
love-
excited about the
I
experience.
am
of it.
excited, and that is the reason why I wore a lehenga for my wedding and only
Yeah.
did one wedding ceremony. is
Beautiful, by the way. I saw that
where
on the Instagram.
I'm just like,
Beautiful
I'm not
wedding.
doing three
And
weddings.
Nobody does weddings like Indian weddings. man.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
Our vendors are like, you're African and Indian?
They're like,
They're like, the
They're
chick
gonna
was
turn
so
up.
big.
They're gonna turn
And I'm
up.
like, no.
$1 bills, cha-ching.
They're like, there's gonna be 1,000 people. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be at least like
1,000 people.
there's gonna be at least 7 figures. And well, I'm like, I just want 60 people at the wedding.
Is that all you had?
No, like my dad was
It was
trying to
COVID.
invite my
And we
dad.
still had
Oh,
110.
wow.
Yeah, my dad was literally it was like inviting 50 people, and I told him,
Right.
I was
Look
like,
at
you
the
can
bill,
invite
like-
6.
Oh my gosh.
Is it 100 for an
I'm still
Indian
My
waiting.
wedding?
cousin
Bill
had
off.
400 people at his wedding, and I asked him, how many people are your friends? And he was like, who's the wedding party? And I said, absolutely not.
Oh wow.
And India is even worse, like Indian and Ethiopian
My
culture.
sister's wedding was 250 people.
And
cousin's
like if you
wedding was
actually
fine.
go to India, it's like
It's like 1,000.
the person that
1,000
brought
is
you your
small.
mail, the
1,000.
person that brings
1,000
your
is
milk,
small.
their cousins that of the person that brought the milk can also come.
Oh no.
Their,
Absolutely
their
not.
cousins of their cousins can also
No,
come.
no.
Everybody gets fed when there's a
Oh,
wedding.
man.
Yeah, and I was just like,
There's got to be 1.4 billion people.
we
for a
live in
reason.
California.
no.
We're not doing this. We do not have the budget.
Boundaries.
Oh,
Boundaries.
there's none of that. There's no boundaries. There's no privacy.
No boundaries.
Because, I mean, 11 people in this room. How are you
Yeah.
going to have any privacy,
That's
right?
true. That's right.
So it's just one of those things where it was funny, but also, especially since our cultures overlap in a lot of traditions and things that we do. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I am not going to have a 7-day wedding. It's going to be like 3.
It was
And-
10.
And I was like, at the end of the day,
It was
people,
10?
we're going to pick and choose what we're going to do.
It ended up being 10.
It was
It
10
was
days.
3 for the formal part. And
Yeah.
the informal part, it was 10.
It was longer.
Wow.
Oof.
By the
Yeah.
time he forced our honeymoon, because I was like, we can go
Like,
later. And he
I'm
was
not
like,
going
no,
to
we're
have
going to
anything left. I'm not going to have anything left in my name.
We
Just,
went-
we're going now.
we literally went to Cabo and we had a 3-bedroom, like 2-story villa with a pool and like a hot tub.
Nice.
We slept in different rooms for like
Each
naps. We were just like, okay, you're gonna sleep. You sleep there, it's
Go
fine.
sleep there.
And
I'm gonna
I'm
go
like,
sleep
I will
here.
wake up if I want to take a nap. I will sleep here. And I was like, if he wakes up early and wants to get coffee, he could go get coffee. He's not waking me up.
Nice.
And it was the
That's the
most
dream, to get back to
amazing
that.
trip
Uh-huh.
of just
Well,
also,
hey.
The dream.
There you go. You got the target.
and
That's
also
how you
learning
guys
our
need to go.
That's where you're gonna end up.
expectations of like not being mad at each other, of like, we need rest, we need to reset, where we planned like so many cute like luxury like dinners. Like there was one where it was like on the rocks and then like the water splashing on, and literally like 2 hours before I looked and I was like, do you want to leave this? And he was like, no. I was like, let's order room service. And we're both very content. If it was in a relationship where expectations, you can like move and be flexible, can you imagine like somebody would be upset? It was
Yeah.
like, oh, you woke up and you got coffee without me, or you went to bed before me. Why are you sleeping in a different room? We're just like,
You're
didn't see
comfortable.
anybody
Just
for
living.
the first 4 days, where we're just like, we're just gonna hang out here. You do what you do, I do what I do. If it merges and we combine and we're happy together while doing it on our
You're
honeymoon is
comfortable.
perfect. And it was the best vacation I think we both had.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
well,
Cabo, but where we're going next, yes, is either India or Thailand.
sweet.
Yeah. Where we just want a vacation like that again.
Hell yeah. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for coming and talking story with us.
Thank you.
Man, there's so many more questions and things that we have to continue.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for inviting us. It was
Yes,
great.
And you two
And you
have
took
a
your shoes
beautiful
off.
love.
We did.
Beautiful
We
love.
did take our shoes off.
Thank you guys.
Okay,
you.
mahalo for coming. All right. Okay, everybody. Well, mahalo for coming and joining us to talk story. And we'll see you guys next time. Aloha.